Who? How are we doing, folks? It's Sunday night and it's Audio Who again for your listening delight. We have a half dozen here, possibly a seventh one from out of the shower later. But before we get to that, let's get to this. It's Planet of the Rani with Colin Bakers, Miranda Raisons and Siobhán Redmonds, reprising her role for her second outing as this incarnation of the Rani. We have her stint in the maximum security prison, followed by a trip to her own home, well, not home planet, but ruling planet that was mentioned way back in Mark of the Rani. Even the master popped in there from time to time. Very cool. But what do we find when we get there? A planet in ruins and disarray and run by a giant mechanical cockroach who had a distinct desire to call Rani Mummy. Where to begin with this? Okay. AJ, can I get your opening thoughts, mate, on Planet of the Rani, Colin Bakers, Miranda Raisons and Siobhán Redmonds?
How about introductions, you drunken bun?
Oh dear, oh dear. Before we get to that, let's get to this. It's your panel for this evening. Sorry, it's been a long weekend. Joining us from down under, he has the thunder. It's AJ. How's it going, mate?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good to see you, mate. Joining us from Mass, Sue. How's it going, Sue?
Good. Alex and I are together today. He listens.
You're together every day. Joining us from the inner sanctum of his own bedroom, it's Jake. How's it going, Jake?
I'm doing fine. Welcome to my dominion.
There you go. How are you? Joining us from NYC, no doubt pissed off because the Giants are choking against Mr. Will Medina. How's it going, Will?
Hey now, fuck you, Giants.
And well, looky here. He's still Texas. He's still Tim. But he doesn't have a problem because he's in Houston now. How's it going, Timbo?
No, I'm in Woots.
There you go. Excellent.
Poland.
Yeah, why not? So there we go, guys. Planet of the Rani, as I said earlier. AJ, opening thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I didn't mind the story. It was a very good sort of sweet and to the point story. I like the whole idea of the Rani being in prison for as long as she was.
97 years, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and the doctor was the reason why, but he kept putting off her parole hearing, which I thought was hilarious. I mean, honestly, you wouldn't want to keep someone like that in prison. It was a good story. I like the whole, turn around. She's trying to create a godlike creature, and it's a giant metal cockroach. So
yeah.
We'll get more into the nitty-gritty little bits in a bit.
Yeah, there's some statues to come later. Well, opening thoughts, mate?
Well, it's not a bad sequel to the last audio that we had, and like you said, the episode that introduced her in the TV. Of course, it also had that character that was in jail that traveled with the doctor back to her home. Well, so because in the first half, she almost was a companion to the doctor, and she wasn't even around for the third chapter. But then she came back to the fourth chapter, and then we thought, well, it sounded like she was going to attempt to murder her for what happened to that planet. So that was a good story arc for that one character. And of course, listening to this, we found out that the doctor created a sort of virus that the Rani used to control that people on the planet, in which he has to make up for that. So it's not a bad story. But unusual that the second appearance of the Rani, the new Rani, is again meeting the sixth doctor, when she's already aware that he's going to be generated to the Sylvester McCoy doctor. That's really weird.
Yep, it'll be interesting if they have one or two to get down the line, that's for sure. Timbo, opening thoughts, mate?
I thought it was good. It's like it's pretty straightforward. Like AJ said, it's a good little four-parter. If anything, I like the way they split them up. With the doctor basically taking this other girl, trying to get her home.
Yep.
And of course the Rani and Mrs. Clark off on their own and having little arguments and whatnot. Yeah. But it was good.
All right, kill it. So, Alex, whenever you're ready.
The Rani had a cockroach for a son, and that was really interesting. And the doctor had a substance, an ablative substance that was both their ruin and their redemption later. And that, so I mean, the the experiments that they were undergoing were really intriguing. Lots of science-y stuff here. Here,
Yep.
Alan.
Yeah, it was a pleasant story. I do miss the original Rani, but this person did a good job. And it was an interesting setup. I'm not sure about the story per se, but it was an interesting setup.
All righty. Jake, go for it. What do you reckon?
Right off the back for me for this one, this is far superior than the Rani Elite. But saying this incarnation of the Rani still doesn't sit well with me. I still don't see her as threatening as what Kate or Elmara's Rani was. And they sort of hinted towards that in the story when he was talking about the Rani looking in on that his son, whatever it was. But it was a good story, but it wasn't anything amazing, but still more like it was backstory galore basically. This person's a massive long backstory, this person's a backstory. But it was nice sort of filler to listen to, if that makes sense. But this Siobhán Redmonds still does not sync well with me. So that is my thoughts so far.
Well, you can't have everything, mate. It's subjective, isn't it? For me, yeah, this was enjoyable enough. Good little sequel as well, I alluded to. I did find the backstory intriguing, whereby the doctor was dabbling with substances and the Rani pinched one. Go figure. Yeah. That can cause a hell of a lot of problems, sometimes annoying. Bog standard fun last time I alluded to. You've got, what was the chick's name?
Did I travel with the doctor?
Yeah.
Pasman,
yeah, played by
Olivia Polet.
Poulet, yeah. I think she's been in before.
She plays Mrs. Peel in the Avengers.
There you go. Why not? Big finish for her some more work here. She's done a good job in her role as the Avenger of the planet, so to speak, albeit due to what happened to her family as well, so not too bad. The poor wee old fella who bit the dust on the rooftop, I've got to just give him a wee subtle mention here, man. Poor old guy with a red set right for the goal. Unfortunately, it sounded like a somewhat interesting character with a wee bit of knowledge, but I guess somebody had to go. But all in all, not a bad sequel to the Rani Elite, and we're going to divulge why now. Any events or characters that stood out for you folks? Well, that's ended now.
Well, of course, I'm going to start off with that, with Pasme, because she met the doctor in that prison planet.
Mm-hmm.
And if she wasn't untied from that machine, she would have been killed too.
Yep.
And she was there to try to get the Rani, and of course, she found out how her family was almost destroyed. The planet was gone. Even though a lot of it happened after the Rani left the planet for the 16 years, but her corruption started the process, so to speak. So her character stood out really good. Another one I'm gonna have to give, of course, Mrs. Clark a little bit of a thumbs up, because the way she handled meeting the big cockroach or prince. Yeah. So that was unusual. Normally, other people might have been freaked out and attempt to kill it because it was a big bug like that. But luckily, she was able to talk to him and calm him down in his fits of anger like that. So you gotta give her props for that. She was able to handle herself pretty good, especially when she put for the second time the exoskeleton that make her look like
battle armor.
The battle armor. That was pretty good the way she was able to control it later on.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Timbo, it's on you, man.
Yeah, I agree with William. I think Constance is great in the story. And I disagree with Jake. I think that Siobhán Redmonds is awesome in the part. And you really can't expect her to play it the same way Omara would have. It's a different regeneration. So, I mean, it's going to be different. I also like the way that the Rani's planet also continues the tradition of, because her name means queen in Indian language. So you have a Raj as well, who is her son, which is pretty clever. So
yes,
I like that aspect.
Yeah, was it Matt Platt who wrote this? Was it?
Huh?
Was it Matt Platt that wrote this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. He's thrown in the Indian names. Why not? Excellent stuff. AJ, how was that in that?
Yeah, I like the situation where the Rani's in prison and basically she just overtakes the prison like the Master did when he was stranded on Earth. You know, basically just the whole thing. She takes over the system. Thought that was clever. I also like Mrs. Clark, where she basically is told not to wander off by the Rani, like the doctor. You know, basically don't go anywhere. You're going to get killed.
Yep.
And just this master, Rani. The previous Rani was more visual, you know, the looks of her face and whatnot, whereas this one's more vocal.
Yeah.
You know, she's, because of the Scottish accent, you could sort of go, oh, I don't know if I can stand in the room next to you. You might get yelly at me or something.
Yeah, and she's a redhead too, so she's got my soul. So
fiery.
You know, yeah, there you go. Alex, Sue, what do you reckon?
Here we go.
Yeah, as I said, it's an interesting story. Yeah, and I know the Rani's going to be different. It just doesn't seem the same. I like the way Kate O'Mara seemed to have more presence and all that. I know it's a tough role though.
You really messed her
And
up.
it's tough. It's a tough. It's too bad they can't bring her back to TV. But yeah, it's tough. The story was interesting. I just they gave Colin Baker a lot of lines this time too.
Yeah.
It seemed like he had a lot of lines too.
He wouldn't show up if he didn't get a lot of lines.
Yeah, and then they have the cockroach alien. That's pretty funny with the perfect English. Oh well.
Superior intellect. Yeah.
It's British television. You know, we can't make it too complicated. But
Ooh, it's like kicking the nutsack right there to the British viewers. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I probably need to listen to more Rani stories. I know I've heard another one. I can't remember if it was the same actress.
The Rani Elite.
That it seemed like it was a little bit more. And this one, it seemed a little bit more like the typical, you know, twirling. If it wasn't, there wasn't a mustache. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know. But then, like I said, it was funny how at the end, the doctor and the cockroach alien sort of gave her comeuppance.
Yeah, there you go.
And Mrs. Clark, I'll let you echo what the other fellows were saying about Mrs. Clark. She was interesting. She had a lot of moxie, and her interplay with the Rani was really interesting, and high energy, and then her interplay with the prince was intense. It was good.
There you go. Kick. Anything?
I love the bit where like the Doctor and the Rani is talking about their days at the academy. I love it when Doctor Who does stuff like that because it's building up more stuff that you necessarily didn't know. And I noticed in the statue scene where they're talking about all these statues, are these all different incarnations of the Rani that we've yet to see? Or are they all the Kate O'Mara Rani? Because from what I've read, her 16-year gap was what happened in Mark of the Rani and Time of the Rani, judging by what I've read. So I presume that Kate O'Mara's incarnation was this, like, the incarnation on this planet.
The Roger Arquette did mention that the appearance did change. It probably was Kate O'Mara's or Rani at some point.
And no one recognised her either. You thought that someone that you worship so much, you would know what they looked like, sort of thing. And that bloke's like, oh, who are you, blah, blah, blah. You instantly know if it was that incarnation of the Rani. And I thought, that's interesting. Perhaps we'll see more incarnations of the Rani. That'll be nice.
Even Anthony Ainley's master popped in to have a look at one point. Ooh, dire place, you know. So.
That's what I thought about it. But Siobhán Redmonds, I see what that incarnation of the Rani is trying to be. But for me, if she's meant to be as threatening as the Doctor is portraying her to be, she doesn't act like it to me. I want her to have more of a presence, to be more of a threat. She just seems like she's just standing there to me. But I agree with Tim, that she is good. But for me, she isn't as impactful as she could be, sort of thing.
All right, maybe the line she'll sway you. AJ?
You mean Will?
Sorry. Fuck.
I already did mine.
My navigation's all over the place. I'm like, well, sorry, man, on you go.
No, I already did it.
Oh. Is everybody beaten then?
Yeah, what's the next one?
I think it is your turn, AJ.
Yeah.
No, I already done mine.
It must be me then. Wow, what an organised bunch we are this evening, folks. Yeah, and as the guys have alluded to, good stuff with your three main leads in this one. Raja Ketch, interesting. You thought he was going to be the big bad in this thing, and he turns out very empathetic at the end. Ends up ruling the planet in conjunction with the people. The big cockroach is a judge. Yeah. Why not? Colin Baker, his usual pompous self. I love the bit when he's basically sitting at the beginning in the TARDIS and he's disregarding all his unread mail. And Constance is getting through it. Oh, what about this one? What about boring? Next. Day later. Time's relative. I can't be asked. You know, just stuff like that. That's Colin Baker for you. And obviously he gets persuaded to go to the parole hearing because it's obviously the Rani it's involved in. We're off to the races with this story. Good stuff in Mark Platt once again. It might just be for you folks. Get a listen. And with that, guys, open mic portion of the cast, and that's what I bring up before we get this rated and in the can.
Well, I like the way that she kept an experiment, like you mentioned. I think that was something he had worked on years ago when they were like in class or in college or something.
Yep.
In other words, she never throws anything away. She always keeps every experiment that she works on because she might need it later. I think that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm a big shot that she has two TARDISes. I'm like, how
so you just took the one about move there. Well, yeah, two TARDISes in there. Yeah.
Everybody but the Doctor seems to have. I remember the Master had two.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
For me, the Rani's experiments trying to create gods almost sounds a bit Nazi-ish in a way. You know, like the supreme being.
Yeah.
To me, at least.
I think that's the point. She has no scruples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't. I mean, she sees everybody as a lab rat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No need for pinky in the brain now. Anything else, guys? Nope. No, well, quick, dirty and simple this week, folks. It's that time again.
We here in Audio Hill would like to give our condolences to the family of Jacqueline Pierce and, of course, Burt Reynolds on their passing a couple of days ago. Indeed,
yeah. Smokey has lost his bandit and we've lost Cardinal Arrestra. Go figure. Rest in peace, folks. Planet of the Rani. Colin Baker, Miranda Raisons, and Siobhán Redmonds. All right, Sue, Alex, what do you guess out of 10?
I'll give this 9.5 out of 10. Here's Alex.
I guess I'll give it an 8 for the cast. Story was all right, but like I said, the cast did it.
Okay, 8 was not so great. Well, what about you, Matt?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10, and I look forward to see more of the Rani coming up. Whether she will meet the Sixth Doctor or the other incarnations, we wait to find out.
Only Big Finish knows. AJ, what do you reckon, Matt?
Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 too. The cast was good. The sound was a little bit over the audio sometimes, but it was a good story, I thought.
Okay, cool, Matt. Jake, what do you reckon, Matt?
I'll give it an 8 as well.
Wow, for somebody who... It's all right, but maybe the 9. Tim, you want to continue that trend?
No. I'm going to give it a 9, and I agree with William. They have Siobhán Redmonds on tap. They should use her more often and have her pop up all over the place.
Yeah. Let's really fuck her up. Let's put her in with Trio. See what happens.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, there you go. What am I going to give this? I'm going to agree with Will. I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10 as well. Solid second outing for Siobhán Redmonds Rani, and give us some more about friends. It's been a while. This is what, about 2 years ago now? I don't know if she's busy or what, or she can't come up with any decent Rani stories, but get on that shit, man.
She should have a showdown with Michelle Gomez.
Oh, they wouldn't be able to understand that Scottish cat fight. Yes, there you go.
Oh, you can translate for everybody.
Yeah. Provided I'm sober enough. Hashtag kids don't play beer ping pong. It'll kill your liver.
Beer pong. We saw photos.
Yeah. Well, whatever the hell it was. Shot pong, whatever. Anywho. Done dusted infinito and in the cast for this evening. Indy Can, rather. Well, could you elaborate what we are doing next week as the tart from Tottenham isn't here?
Well, we're doing the Seventh Doctor teaming up with Klein on Starlight Robbery.
Starlight Robbery, and young Arrowsmith is back along for the ride as well. So we'll see how the second story in that trilogy pans out. Please check out our buddies in the wonderful wacky world of the YouTube. Get the guys and dolls that Geeks assembled with our TV, movie, and audio head reviews. You Dr. Freedom's news broadcast and his Amiga files. As well as the Adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. Go check him out. Check out all the other buddies online. Johnny Boyle, Sammy Carter. Make sure him and everybody's online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, and all that jazz. It's time for me to go and detoxify. Enjoy your week, folks. Best to yourself and each other. And if your sports team get beat this weekend, sorry to hear it. Good night, folks.